Well, Wargamers, I'm Evasion, and today I want to talk about the newly released Evara battlesuit from forgeworld. It's a Riptide variant, much like the Arvana was, but this one's a fast attack choice, oriented towards close quarters heavy firepower. So, before we get started, if you like the video, think you know what to do. Of course, let me know what you think of the Evara and some of the questions I posed throughout this video in the comments below. So, Evara, when we saw the first pictures of it out of Forge World Open Day, love at first sight, right? Just an amazing model. It has the same type of aesthetic that some of the Crisis variants from Forge World have, but scaled up to be Riptide scale, right? So it's pretty awesome. It has the same type of bits that the Arvana has, where it's basically the Riptide legs plus a different body and arms. This one replaces the Riptide arms with a flamer weapon and a ionic discharge cannon here. And then the really distinctive part, besides having a some would say better head, the head seems a little bit better scaled at least, which is nice. Is these giant thrusters, right? So there's like 12 thrusters back here, and it's pretty awesome. This is by far my favorite part of this battlesuit, is just how many thrusters it has. It's just very, very cool. So let's get into the rules, which are experimental rules available on Forge World's website right now. They're not 40K approved yet, so there will be a revision of this at some point in the future. So I'll do a video again at that point, but right now it's looking pretty good. So for 230 points, you get a normal Riptide, with the exception that it has ballistic skill 4, which is awesome, and only 4 wounds, which is not awesome. So you take 1 wound and put it into ballistic skill here, which means it's a little less durable right off the bat. But the unit, of course, consists of the Evara, but you have the option of taking not only shielded missile drones, but shield drones as well. And I'll talk about why you don't want to purchase either of them in a minute here, but this is a step away from the standard Riptide formula of only having the suit and the shielded missile drones. Opening up the option for shield drones, just normal shield drones, is an interesting choice. They also clarify here that the Evara can only be taken in as part of a Codex Tau Empire detachment, so that means not a Firebase support cadre and not a Farside Enclaves detachment, which there was some confusion about for the Arvana. So it's very helpful that they clarified that. What does the Evara have? Well, it has a 2-up armor save, black sun filter, and multi-tracker, just like a normal Riptide, but it has a bunch of rules that are completely different than a normal Riptide. So for first thing is that its shield generator is a 5-up as normal, but increases automatically to a 4-up against shooting attacks from within 12 inches and close combat attacks. So right away that points to you wanting this guy to be as close as possible, regardless of what his weapons are. He's going to be most durable when he's up close and personal with the enemy. It also means that your opponent, is going to want to keep as far away from him in order to maximize their chances of killing it. Not to mention minimize the chances of him killing them. His first weapon, that flamer weapon that he has that looks so awesome, is the Phase Plasma Flamer, and it basically has 2 different firing options that you can choose at any given point. It's a Torrent 6, Strength 6, AP 3, Heavy 1 weapon. So it works just like a normal Torrent weapon, only it's 6 inches as opposed to 12 inches away. And Strength 6, AP 3, not bad. So you are going to be able to take out Space Marines pretty easily right there. But then if you really want to lay down the hurt, you can bump it up to an AP2, Heavy 2 weapon, gets hot. So this is going to be a case where that Ballistic Skill 4 comes in handy, because it means it only needs 2 Marker Light hits to bump him up to Ballistic Skill 6, which means that he gets to re-roll his Gets Hot roll. So that's going to be an important aspect of using this weapon, is having some marker light support for that reason right there. But Strength 6 AP2, that's going to be great at taking out Terminators, Centurions, light vehicles. You're going to have some nice shots there. The second weapon, the shotgun-looking weapon, again also awesome, is the Ionic Discharge Cannon, and that's a range 12, so very short range. Strength 8, AP3, Heavy 3, Blind, and Haywire Burst, which means that for each successful hit you land, you also roll a Haywire result. So not only are you doing a Strength 8 hit to a vehicle, you're also almost guaranteed an additional glance or a pen on a roll of a 6, which is phenomenal. But of course it's only range 12, so you'll have to get him there first. And before we talk about the Fleshette Dispersal Pods, we'll talk about the Vector Thrust Array, which is how you're going to get the Riptide there to lay down the hurt with that Flamer and Discharge Cannon. Basically, you can move him once every other turn, or basically you can't do this 2 turns in a row, but you can move him like a swooping monstrous creature, so he can get across the board pretty quick. But if you move him like this, he doesn't get kind of cool things like Vector Strike or anything like that. It's just the movement that he gets, which is nice. It also means he doesn't have to land, I suppose, which is a benefit. But yeah, so anytime he does that or deep strikes, he can use the Fleshette Dispersal Pods, which don't count as firing a weapon, but do D6 Shred Strength 4 AP5 shots to a unit within 6 inches. So you can imagine him coming in, guns blazing and landing and just having these little Fleshette Pods pop off of him and take out some guardsmen or some termagants or whatever. It's pretty cool. The Nova Reactor, of course, is also a little bit different. Still requires a 3-up, but the first result is Nova Barricade, which makes his invulnerable save a 3-up against close combat attacks. Note, it's only against close combat attacks. It's not against shooting attacks or anything else. It's just against close combat attacks, and so I suppose that's really when you're going to want them because of the prevalence of things like Thunderwolf Cavalry, which can really really hurt. So having that 3-up invul save in close combat is going to be nice. But you have some other great options as well. Overcharged Ionic Burst makes his Discharge Cannon Heavy 3 plus D3 for the remaining turn. So that means that he could potentially shoot 6 Strength 8 AP3 shots, but on average he'll get 5. Now there is a little bit of a wording issue here, and I want to know what you guys think. It says treated as Heavy 3 plus D3. So does that mean the entire type statement here is replaced by Heavy 3 plus D3, meaning that it loses the Blind and Haywire Burst special rules, or does it retain those? Rules as written, I would say it loses these special rules, because it does not say anything about that. It says treated as this. But the rules as intended, I think it retains these things. So hopefully that will be clarified, or if you guys just want to let me know what you think, that'd be great. I think I would play it as Heavy 3 plus 3 Blind and Haywire Burst. Escape Thrust, this is really awesome. Basically, if he's tied up in close combat, you get a Nova charge off. You can just leave combat and go into ongoing reserves. So, yes, that puts him in reserves, but he'll come in next turn, farther away from the enemy, of course, which is unfortunate, but it does mean that you can get him out of there if it looks like he's going to die. So that's good. And it also frees up your opponent for you to shoot everything else that you have at them, which is great. That's what we do. Vector Evasion, basically, if you do this, he has the Jinx special rule, and then also if he uses his thrust move or swoops like a monstrous creature using the Vector Thrust Array, he gets a 4-up cover automatically. So that's pretty awesome because you're always going to use your thrust move. So that's awesome. Makes him very, very resilient, having a 2-up save, A 2-up save, a 5-up invul, which could be a 4 or a 3-up invul, but you can't do the 3-up and this. So a 2-up save, a 5-up invul, and a 4-up cover save is not bad. So that's pretty great. What does all this mean? Well, of course it means that you're going to want to deploy him as close as possible to the enemy, preferably not in line of sight of anything with heavy weapons, so high strength or low AP. Alternatively, you could deep strike him in, but of course then you run the risk of losing him due to mishap. But the more important thing here, I think, in terms of how this is actually going to play is with these drones that I told you about right away in the beginning. So he has hit and run because of his vectored retro thrusters, but that only works when you have high initiative, right? If you have a low initiative, you're not going to make that hit and run roll, and so you're still going to be tied up in combat. So you might think, hey, I want to take drones so that I can have this high initiative. But if you do that, particularly if you're doing shield drones, you'll lower the unit's toughness, and he'll get shot down a lot easier. But 2, he will take panic tests, and 3, and I think this is the biggest issue, is he won't be able to move effectively. You'll have to deep strike him in. You won't have any other options, because if you look at the vector thrust array and the escape thrust special rules, they refer only to the Vara suit. So you cannot use either of those special rules while the Vara is joined by drones. And so if he's not able to move effectively, it means he's not able to shoot effectively, and he might as well be dead. So I would not take drones unless you are absolutely certain you're going to deep strike him in, and are okay accepting the risk of him not coming in until turn 4. So that's kind of the trade-off there, is if you take drones, you have to deep strike him in, otherwise he's not going to be able to get close enough very quickly, and he will probably get shot down before that, because he will be a target. But yeah, so I would not take drones. I think they're a trap. And I would also make sure to have marker light support in order to make these two things a lot more reliable. Because you only have 3 shots here, potentially 6, you really want to make them count, especially because each hit is doubly important, not only because you do that strength 8 hit, but because you get that haywire result as well. So hits are really what you care about here. And here you have the gets hot rule, which if you get hot on your 2 flamer templates, that's kind of a bummer. So if you get just two marker lights, you can re-roll that, and it probably won't happen. So that will be awesome. Overall, it's 230 points. I think if you wanted him strictly for tank hunting, you could probably be better off just taking more broadsides. Against a Knight Titan, they will be able to do a more reliable job, I think. But the real strength of this suit is not in its ability to take out Knights, it's in its maneuverability and strategic role. So instead of just having all your forces lined up on the table edge shooting at a guy moving around a little bit, you have this guy completely disrupting your opponent's movements and really playing a large role in determining how the game actually runs. So I think it's a great option, definitely a fun model to play with based on the rules here, and really is not too broken, just because the points you pay are not bad. Are not bad for what you're getting. It's not like he is putting out 30 shots or anything like that, or something that's super reliable in taking out Titans or heavy armor. It's going to be a lot more hard to deploy this guy effectively, I think, than we might think. So, yeah, probably will get a little bit of a nerf when the 40k approved rules comes out, but other than that, looking like a great unit and definitely something that I plan on including in my army at some point in time. So, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the Ivara in the comments below, and happy wargaming.